I'm sharing my screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let us discuss document splitting. Okay. So if you remember during profit center discussion time, we have discussed that we have to create the profit center at such level at which business wants to draw the financial statement. If business want to draw the financial statement at plant level, you have to create plant is equal to profit center. If they want to draw the financial statement at product level, you have to create the profit center at product level, and so on. So here document splitting will help you to achieve that need. Okay, document splitting will help you to draw the financial statement at certain document splitting characteristics, that is profit center level, segment level, and business area level. Okay, so let me write here. Document splitting is the feature of NewGL. Okay, first of all, it is the feature of NewGL. This document splitting was also available in ECC. Okay, but it was optional in ECC. If any client want to use, they can use. If they don't want to use, it was optional. But document splitting in S/4HANA is a mandatory. It is a mandatory you have to use. Okay, and this document splitting, let's say if you are not using in ECC and you want to migrate to S/4HANA, then from classic first you have to migrate to NewGL, then NewGL to S/4HANA. 3 steps you have to follow. But in ECC you are already using the document splitting, then directly from document splitting to S/4HANA you can migrate it. Okay, so this is the little history about the document splitting. You'll be surprised to know document splitting feature was also available in the classic also. Okay, there was program, you had to run that program to split the vendor and customer line items. Okay, but it was different way of doing the document splitting. But when it came in the ECC in EHP 6.0, this feature came as a feature, as a feature of NewGL it came. Okay, so no need to run any further program to split the vendor line item, customer line item. Rather, the moment you post the journal entry, that time itself it will it will split the line items. Okay, but it was optional, but in S/4HANA it became mandatory. Okay, so what this document splitting exactly does, it you know that at company code level you have to prepare the financial statement, but other than company code level, that is your segment, business area, and profit center, if you want to prepare the financial statements, if you want to draw the financial statement at these 3 characteristics, these 3 business area, segment, and profit center, we say as a document splitting characteristics. Okay, so at these characteristics, if you want to draw the financial statement, you must use the document splitting feature. Okay, you have to use the document splitting feature. Without this feature, without using document splitting, you cannot draw the financial statement at these 3 characteristics. Now, before even you go at document splitting, you have to understand how to derive the profit center in the line item. Okay, without entering the profit center, at least in one line item, when you post the journal entry, at least in one line item, there should be the profit center. If there is no profit center in the line item, you cannot post any journal entry. So there should be at least one profit center entered, at least in one of the line item. Let's say you are posting 5 debit line item, 5 credit line items, rent account, wages account, salary account, electricity bill account, all this expenses to bank account. At least in one of the line item, there should be the profit center. Okay. Then how we are going to derive that profit center, even though it is one line item, in one line item, how you are going to derive, from where and all you can derive the profit center. So that you have to understand before you even go and understand the document splitting. So let us see how to derive the profit center. How to derive profit center in document line item posting. Okay. How can you derive? Let's say if I go to SAP, you go to FB50, let's say I want to post this. Here I have profit center. This is called header information. This is called line item information. If you go here, you'll find the profit center here. How can I get the profit center here when I'm posting? Okay, so first point is that PC can be derived from cost objects. PC can be derived from the cost object, meaning that in the first of all you have to understand what is called cost object. Cost object means your cost center, internal order, WBS, sales order, COPA. There are a lot of cost objects. These are known as a cost object. For you, you have studied only cost center. So in the cost center, you have given the profit center. So if I enter the cost center here, let me show you here. If I enter the cost center, let me show you here. See here, if I enter the cost center, here I'm entering the cost center. See cost center I entered. See profit center will automatically derive from the cost center. See here profit center came. Similarly, if you enter sales order, you enter order, you enter WBS. So these are the cost subjects. So profit center in the line item can be derived from the cost subject. Okay. Second point, user can enter PC directly. Okay, directly. There are, let's say there are some scenario where you may not enter the cost center. Since it is PNL GL, for PNL GL, if it is cost element, you have must enter the cost subject. But you are posting balance sheet GL you are posting, cash account to bank account you are posting. For those cost subject is not required. Okay, you don't enter cost center for balance sheet line item. Then what will happen? For that you can enter directly the profit center. User can enter directly the profit center. So that is the point. You can enter the profit center directly. Okay. Next, PC can be derived from the master data, other master data, like material master, asset master. Okay. So what happened? Sometime there will be situation where you will not be in a position to enter the profit center. Okay. In that scenario, if you are using the material master, let's say you are doing MyGo posting, material receipt posting you are doing, goods receipt, invoice receipt posting you are doing. That time profit center will come from the material master. In the material master, you have to give the profit center. From there, profit center will automatically be derived in the line item. Similarly for asset master, if you are doing any asset acquisition, you are running any depreciation, okay, then you can generally depreciation time. In depreciation time, you can derive the profit center from the material master because there is no chance of entering the material master manually. Okay. So profit center can be derived from the material master. Now PC can also be derived. PC can be derived from the substitution. If you have written any substitution, there is validation and substitution on topic is there. You have written the substitution, you are telling that whenever this GL comes, this is the profit center it should come. Then it will automatically bring from the substitution. Okay, so profit center can be derived from the substitution also. Profit center can be derived from FAGL 3KEH. Okay. There are some transactions in SAP, especially in the treasury side, where you cannot enter the profit center again. Okay. So you have one option called FAGL 3KEH. You can use this T code. You can default the profit center there. So whenever you use that, those GL profit center will automatically derive from here. So let's see here /n FAGL 3KEH. This is the T code. Give the company code, hit enter. See here, you can give from and to GL and you can give the profit center. If I give here cash GL, then for that cash GL profit center will automatically come. If I give you bank GL, this will automatically come. This T code only used for the balance sheet GLs. We don't use for the PNL GLs. You have to use for the balance sheet GL. And highly we used for the bank GLs because in treasury, as I said, there are some places where you don't have option at all to enter the profit center in the bank GLs. So you must have to enter in this T code. This T code FAGL3KH has the company code label. If you go little world T code, classic 3KH, it is not at the company code level. It is at a controlling area level. Okay. APOP, I think, our controlling, or APCO is our controlling area. You have to maintain as controlling area level. Meaning that if you are using same operating chart of account, it means that same GL you are going to use for multiple company codes. So if you maintain here, it will default it for all the company code, same profit center. Okay, so you have to decide either you want to use as a controlling area level or company code level. In S4 HANA, everybody goes for company code level, but you are in little lower version. In classic time, you have to use 3KH. Okay, so let us not focus on 3KH, focus on FAGL 3KH. So this is the another way of deriving the profit center. Now, in some scenario, profit center can be derived from the OKB9. Especially OKB9 is a place where you derive the cost subject for the PNLGL. Okay. But if you want to derive for PNLGL, the profit center you want to derive, not for balance sheet. This is made for the PNLGL. So you can maintain the profit center in the OKB9. This is not highly used. This is not OKB9. We don't use for the profit center defaulting. Okay. So these are the ways you have to derive the first profit center in the line item. If profit center is blank in either of line item or any of the line item, there is no profit center at all entered in any document, I cannot post any journal entry. At least in one line item, there should be profit center to post. Okay. Now how profit center can derive in the line item? These are the way profit center can be derived. Okay. Why I am focusing profit center, not segment or business area? See, segment can be derived because in profit center you give the segment, but business area has different way. Business area, if you are using, then it can be entered in the cost subject. In the cost center, you can enter the business area. You can manually enter also. But when it goes to logistics side, you are purchasing from MM side, you are selling from MM side, then how you are going to enter the business area? Okay, because when you purchase from MM side, when you purchase from SD side, all the time we don't enter the cost subject, we don't enter the cost center. Okay, then how you are going to derive the business area? And this is one of the reason many people don't go for business area, because business area all the time it is not master data. Now here you have to do the configuration, you have to link the business area with the plant. So tomorrow if you are creating any new plant, any new business area, it is a configuration. You have to link the plant with the business area. But all other is a master data. All other the master data. Okay. So these are the way you can derive. So segment will always derive from the profit center, because in the profit center you give the segment. Business area you can enter in the cost center, in the any cost object. And if it comes to logistics side, you have to link business area with the plant. Okay. So these are the way you can derive all three document splitting characteristics. Anybody has any doubt?
No.
Okay. If you don't have doubt, fine. Now come back to document splitting. Okay. Now document splitting features will give you. So anyway, you know that at company code level, you have to draw the financial statement. But when you want to draw the financial statement, either business area level, segment level, or profit center level, then you have to use the document splitting. Okay, so let me write document characteristics. Document characteristics. Okay. You have to always understand this one. Profit center, segment, business area. These are known as a document splitting characteristics. Okay, meaning that at this level you can draw the financial statement with the help of document splitting. Document splitting, why do you need profit center wise, financial statement, segment wise, business area wise? There is accounting standard which forced to the company that they have to comply. They have to prepare the financial statement at PC level, segment, business area level, because there is rule. If let's say you are selling two products, if one product is giving let's say are 10 products you are selling or 100 products you are selling, if any of the product is giving 10%, more than 10% revenue of total revenue, then for that product you have to separately prepare the financial statement. Likewise, there are a lot of terms and conditions are given in the accounting standard. Because of that, SAP, you know that SAP is very dynamic. The moment it becomes legal requirement, they will modify their SAP. Let's say GST came in India, immediately they modified SAP to meet the GST requirement. Okay, so when accounting principle started saying that whichever businesses product are generating more than 10% revenue of total revenue, then for that product you have to prepare separately financial statement. Okay, so okay, no problem. SAP said no problem. If you need it, okay, I'm giving this functionality. They came up with the document splitting feature. We have worked in many business scenario where SAP doesn't have that solution. Whenever you reach out to them, they say, is it legal requirement or it is just project specific requirement? Okay, if it is project specific requirement, they will not consider into the development further improvement. If that is legal requirement in that particular country or in that particular industry, all the client has to follow this. But SAP has shortage of that feature. Then SAP will take into consider, they will start doing the development, they'll bring that feature. I have suggested many such features in the cloud area. I have suggested many such features saying that this feature is not available. If you bring it, it will be really good. Many a time, even in 4 or 5 days, SAP has set up one call with me to discuss further on my idea. Okay, so SAP is very innovative. So they come up with this feature, document splitting, which will help you to generate the financial statement other than company code level, that is profit center level, segment level, and business area level. But what you have to make sure as a user, that you have to make sure that at least you are entering one profit center in one line item at least. Okay, then document splitting will work smoothly. Okay, so how you can derive, this is what you have to remember always. Now let us understand little bit about more about the document splitting. Okay, so as I said, document splitting is a feature given in NewGL. Okay, is a part of NewGL which came in ECC 6.0. It was optional in ECC, but it is mandatory in S4HANA. Now, before we go, let us understand type of document splitting without further delay. Type of document splitting. Okay. First is known as a active splitting. Okay. Active splitting means whenever you enter the vendor invoice or customer invoice. Okay, or any invoice, any document first you enter in the system. First time when you're entering in the system. First when you're entering the any document, I'll give my Udemy video. Even you can split the GL also, you can split. It is not just vendor and customer line item we split. Even we can split the GL line item. When you post from FB50, you can split it. When I saying this one, it means that 99% already don't know how to split the GL in the FB50. I'll give the video Udemy course, video free, you can watch it. So any document when you enter first time in SAP, you can split it. Okay, when you first time you enter any document, mainly we give example of vendor and customer. Okay, when you enter the vendor invoice or customer invoice in the first time in SAP, then whatever splitting you get, that is known as active splitting. Now what is called splitting? Splitting always happen to the line item. Okay, line item, you have header information and you have line item information. See here, if you go here, I'm not drawing picture, it will be more good. Okay, this is known as a header line item, this is known as a line item information. Okay, but here little it is confusing because vendor also come in the header. This is also line item is still. Okay, so you'll get confused. So because it is easy screen, so let me go little old screen, F.43. So understand this way, this is your header information and this is your line item information below. See, this is your line item. Okay, so splitting happen for the line item, not for the header. Okay, wherever you enter the debit and credit, there splitting happen for the line item, not for the header. So active splitting, when you first time enter any document, again I'm telling any document, not just vendor and customer, any document, but 99% is vendor and customer. When you first enter vendor invoice or customer invoice, if splitting is happening, that is known as active splitting. And active splitting happen based on the configuration. What you set the rule, what you configure, based on that active splitting happen. You can control either you want to do the splitting or you don't want to do the splitting. You can control it. Okay, you can control it with the help of configuration. Now let us understand with one example. Okay, we have to understand with one example. Okay, so active splitting, let us understand with one example. Let's say you are purchasing account debit, another again you are purchasing purchase account debit to vendor account. Okay, see here, you're purchasing worth of rupees 1000 rupees, 1000 rupees and 2000 rupees. Now here, Since it is P&L line item, you will enter the cost center. Okay, we have already created cost center. Let me give CC1, CC2. Okay, this is the cost center you have entered. In this cost center you have PC1 and PC2. Okay, let me put the real time cost center, profit center, otherwise sometime it is not good. So somewhere we have created the profit center here. Okay, these are our cost center and these are our profit center. Where it is. Okay. Okay, this is our, let's say this is the journal entry user is posting. Purchase account debit, one they are purchasing for this department. Okay. Another they are purchasing for this department. This cost center has this profit center. This cost center has this profit center. Okay, this is how the user is entering the journal entry. The way user enter the journal entry is known as an entry view. Okay, entry view. The way user entered the journal entry is known as an entry view. Here in the entry view, first of all, you are posting for company code. Let's say for company code US ATR posting. Now at company code level, you have debit 2000 and you have credit 2000. It is matching. Any journal entry while posting, if it is company code level itself, it is not matching debit credit, you cannot post any journal entry. Okay, it's a simple accounting principle. If debit credit not matching at company code level, it will never allow you to post the journal entry. So company code level, it is matching 2000 debit, 2000 credit. But when it comes to profit center level, see profit center mobile one has debit 1000, but credit it doesn't have. Laptop profit center one has debit 1000, credit it doesn't have. Okay, it doesn't have. Now see here, first let me give one more example, don't get confused. Let me see other cost center, profit center, where let's say this cost center I'm using, which has same profit center. See here, for example, I'm going to use this profit center, a cost center here. Okay, both the line item I'm entering same profit center. In case what it will behave here, again mobile one has the cost center, the debit. Mobile one has again debit 1000. 2000 is had debit, but credit it doesn't have. So at PC level it is not matching debit and credit. But in the line item, in both the line item, there is single profit center. Then how it will happen in the GL view? See, observe it. These are important point. Okay, in the GL view, first GL view. In the GL view, what will happen is that the GL view, in the GL view only GL will show. Okay, no master data will show. So vendor reconciliation GL will come in the backend. If you go and view in the vendor reconciliation, GL will come. Now, simply splitting will happen when there are two different profit center, or three different profit center, four different profit center in a single document. When same profit center is there, simply this profit center will come in this line item also. Okay, same profit center will come in this line item also. Now, if you draw the financial statement at mobile level, see here, mobile has debit 2000, credit 2000. Debit and credit matching at the profit center level in the GL view. In the GL view, all the line item must have the profit center. If any line item doesn't have profit center, then you'll not be able to post the journal entry. In the entry view, even some line item doesn't have profit center, not a problem. but at least in one line item there should be the profit center. But in the GL view, all the line item must have the profit center. So if in the line item there is one single profit center, then that profit center will get filled in all the line item. Here is splitting not required. Now then, when splitting is required, see here, splitting is required when, see, listen here very carefully. Splitting is required when there is different profit center. See here, cost center is LP and laptop one. See here the scenario. User is entering purchase account debit. This cost center has this profit center. This cost center has this profit center. Now, at company code level, it is matching debit 2000, credit 2000. But when it goes to GL view, how it will behave? Observe very carefully. 12. Now, in the GL view, this vendor line item will get split into two. So splitting, remember very carefully, splitting will happen only when there are two or more than two different profit center. Then the other line item will get splitted which doesn't have profit center. Okay, unfortunately here for the customer and vendor you cannot enter the profit center. But let's say there is some line item where you want to do splitting, but that has already profit center entered. You cannot split it. Splitting happen in two scenario. One scenario there should be more than two or more than two profit center, and the line item which is going to be splitted that shouldn't have the profit center. Then only it will split. Other it will not split. Okay, now it is matching the criteria. It has two different profit center, and this is the common line item which doesn't have profit center. Now this line item must be splitted into these two profit centers. So that splitting you can see in the GL view only. So in GL view, this vendor reconciliation will get splitted into two line item. Now this 1000 rupees will come and 1000 here will come. Now in the ratio of 1000, this 2000 will get split. So 1000 divided by 2000 multiplied by 1000, that you know very well. Now this two profit center will come here. Okay. Now if you see, mobile has debit 1000, mobile has credit 1000. Laptop has credit 1000, laptop has debit 1000. So here in the GL view, all the time PC will be filled. PC will be filled. PC must be filled for all the line item in the GL view. Other it will not allow. So this is known as active splitting. During the posting time, if two or more than two profit center is entered, then the common line item should be splitted. Okay, it should be splitted. Now another example, see with the tax. See here, you're posting journal entry, purchase account debit, then input tax. When you're purchasing, it is input tax, right? Correct, na? Bhavesh?
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
is
sir.
input GST, right? Or tax, let's
Yeah,
say
yeah,
input tax.
yeah.
Input tax. It is 2000 rupees, 200 rupees. Here it becomes 2200. Now here also you don't have, it is a balanced line item. It is deriving automatically. You don't have option. 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. Now see here. This is balanced line item. It is automatically coming this line item. You don't have option to enter this now. This line item should also be picked split automatically. But this is the GL line item. If we have already given you defaulted profit center for this, there should be, first of all, there should be two or more than two profit center. If it is only single profit center, here also, let's say here also tax scenario I'm bringing tax, input tax on debit 200 rupees, 2200. Then where it is, I made a mistake somewhere. Where is my single profit center scenario? Here. Let's say input tax 200 rupees, 2200. What will happen here? Two 200. Same profit center will get filled. This line item not required to split because single profit center is there. So same profit center will get filled on all the line item. But here, you come to here. Okay, here we are taking below scenario, tax scenario. Here, see. Here tax is also there. Now tax doesn't have any profit center, but if you have defaulted the profit center, it is automatically deriving. Let's say mobile one only have defaulted somewhere. Or general PC you have created one general PC are deriving like this. Then this line item will not split. Then this will get splitted based on 3 PC. 3 time vendor line item will get splitted or some other way. Zero balance will also come. Okay. Now to split the line item, there should be at least 2 profit center and there shouldn't be the profit center enter in that line item. Then only splitting will happen. If you already entered, it will not split. Okay, now let's say input tax also you want to split. So now come here, take this input tax, go into 2 line item. Okay, the ratio of this one, with the ratio of this one, it will go 100, 100. Okay, and this is 2200. So 1000, 1100 and 1100. This is how it will split. I hope you are clear what is called active splitting. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, if you are clear, then fine. Now going to passive splitting. Passive splitting. Passive splitting generally will happen with reference to previous document. Let's say in the active splitting, you have posted the vendor invoice. Now that vendor invoice, you are making the payment. So with reference to previous document, if you are going to do subsequent step, then if document is getting splitted, that is known as a passive splitting. Generally, once you post anything with that, what you can do, either you can do clearing or you can do the payment or you can do the reversal. Other than these 3, what you will do with any document? Okay, so reversal generally what is there in the original document, same way it will get reverse. Okay, clearing time may happen your document passive splitting, and payment time will also again depends on the setting again. Okay, depends on the setting, depend on how previous document was splitted. Passive splitting happen. To remember it, you remember either payment or receipt of the money. If you are making the payment to the vendor or you are receiving the payment from the customer. If your bank line item is getting splitted, that is known as a passive splitting. In simple, I'm telling, there may be other so many scenario of the passive splitting, but at least one scenario should be printed in your mind. That is called payment, either receipt or payment to the vendors. Either receiving the money from the customer or paying money to the vendor. If bank GL is getting splitted, that is known as a passive splitting. Okay, now let me give the example. Let's say if you are making payment this one where same profit center is there. Okay, same profit center is there. That is, so what will happen? 2200 here, 2200. Okay, 2200. Let me make the payment. So what will happen? Entry view. First go to entry view. Entry view. In entry view, what will happen? Vendor account debit to outgoing bank account, outgoing bank account credit. See here, first one I'm taking, first scenario. Okay, here in the GL view it is just one line item, so while making the payment only one line item will come, this 2200 and mobile. So come here, we are 2200 and mobile PC. See, mobile one you have not entered, it is deriving from the invoice line item, and here also it will come 2200. This is the entry view, this is the entry view. Go in the GL view, go in the GL view, then this vendor reconciliation GL account debit to outgoing account, outgoing bank account 2200. In city single profit center, same profit center will come here also, not required to do anything. But the moment there is, if it was already splitted during the invoice time, see here this scenario. So here in GL view there is two vendor line items. So if you make the payment, then two line item will come here. In the entry view, in the entry view, in the entry view, vendor account debit, vendor account, sorry, vendor account debit, whatever amount it is there, 1000, 1000. Tax also I have considered. 1000 tax is considered third item. If tax is also there, then 1100 will come. Okay, because total vendor amount is 2200. So 1000, 1000 and mobile PC, mobile one, laptop one, then now bank to outgoing bank. You have watched my previous video. I have already told what is the best solution we follow in the industry. I have already forwarded one video yesterday. Now this is will come 2000. Now in the GL view, if you go to GL view, vendor account, in the GL view, vendor reconciliation account will come. Okay, now if you see here, this bank, this vendor, this has debit, this credit, PC had debit, but there is no credit. So this vendor line, this bank line item, you have to split it. Now you have to split or not split, it depends on the business. That's the reason I'm telling, please watch one of the video I have sent you. Okay, best practice. But as of now, I'm going to split it. But why business will ask not to split? If they are telling not to split, then what is the solution? If they are telling split, what is the solution? So let's say we are splitting it, 1000 rupees, 1000 rupees. Here it is matching. So it is known as a passive splitting. When a bank line item is getting split, it is a passive line item, passive splitting. Now something called zero splitting. Always remember one thing, splitting will happen only when there is no profit center in this line item. If the moment you derive the profit center from anywhere, by default, let's say you maintain this GL in the FAGL3 case and profit center is deriving automatically, then this line item will not get splitted. Another way it will go for solution. Okay, so splitting happen when there is two or more than two profit center, and whichever line item you want to split that doesn't have the profit center, then only splitting will happen. Now come to zero splitting. Zero splitting, wherever splitting, it is very risky solution. Zero splitting, you must use the zero splitting but it is risky solution. Why it is risky solution? Zero splitting, wherever splitting is, it is wherever document is not getting balanced at the profit center level, even after splitting the document or without splitting the document, then zero balance will come into picture to balance the document. So it is good part. What is the bad part? Sometime your configuration is wrong. Instead of splitting it, but your zero balance is coming and balancing it. That is the wrong part. So where it was supposed to split and balance the document without the zero splitting, but zero splitting is coming unnecessarily and it is balancing it. So that is the bad part. So you have to know very carefully. You have to know each business process where it's supposed to split, but it is not splitting. Where where it will not split and zero balance should come. You have to know each business process accordingly. Then only it will be good. Otherwise, as I said, where it's supposed to split, but it is zero balance is coming unnecessarily and it is balancing it. But it was supposed to split there. Okay, so this is quite a risky solution. But without this, you cannot handle whole document splitting scenario. There are many business scenario where splitting will not happen. Zero balance should and must be implemented. Okay, so what is zero balance? Zero balance wherever it is document is not matching at the PC level, zero balance will come. This is one of the GL you have to create. Okay, as a balance is GL. It is not open. Don't create as a open item. Don't create as a open item management. Many time business will tell that you have to create as a open item management GL, because they'll tell it is coming at a debit credit equal in each document. I want to clear it. But no, you should not create the open item management, this GL. Reason being, if any GL is created as an open item management, ledger specific posting is not possible. Okay, that's the reason it should be non-open item management. It should be the balance GL with non-open item management. If you want to do post automatic tick mark, you want to do that, you can do it. Okay, now what is called zero balance? Let us see at the business scenario. Let's say you want to do something called reclassification of the journal entry. Okay, from one cost center to another cost center you want to book. Okay, let's say purchase, you have booked the purchase entry, you booked into this cost center. One cost center you have booked. Let's say you booked in, where is the cost center? Let's say you booked in this cost center, any journal entry book, let's say this one. But this cost center owner is telling that this person doesn't belong to me, it belongs to some other cost center. Okay, it belongs to some other cost center. You have to pass the rectification entry, or you have to pass something called, you have to pass something called reclassification of the entry. So what you have to pass? Okay, let's say from this cost center you have to book to another cost center. Okay, now what you have to do? This cost center is debit, you have to put into credit, and whatever cost center he is asking you to put in, that you put debit. Okay, so let me show you this example. Let me first take two cost center. Okay, let's say these are my two cost center I'm taking. Okay, let's say this is my two cost center, for example, I'm taking. Okay, let's say I'm doing the rectification of the entry, purchase account or anything I'm rectifying the entry, purchase account debit to purchase account. Only cost center is getting changed. What happened? It was not copied. Okay, assume cost center 1 and cost center 2. Okay, here 1000 rupees, 1000 rupees and 1000 rupees. Now this has profit center 1 and this has profit center 2. Now how will it will split? I told that there should be more than two profit center. It is okay, it is there two profit center. But I also told that splitting happen when there is no profit center in the line item. But in all the line item there is profit center. Now how it will split? There is no chance of splitting. But this is the entry view. Review. Entry view. This is entry view. Okay. In entry view, this is the journal entry. At company code level, it is matching debit credit. But at PC level, it is not matching. And splitting is also not possible. What you will do now? So zero balance. You have to take the help of zero balance. So zero balance, what it will come? See, observe it here. Zero balance will try to balance the document at line item. I mean at the document level, at PC level. So now what will happen? For this purchase is credit. So one will come into debit. One journal entry will come into debit. That GL which you have created. Zero balance GL you have to create one. Zero balance. This will come in the debit. Now for this one, for debit, one zero balance will come into credit. Zero balance account. Okay. Now, if you observe it here, at PC level now document is matching in the GL view. PC2 has debit, PC2 has credit, GL view. Okay. PC2 has debit 1000 rupees and PC2 has credit 1000 rupees. PC1. Now at PC level is matching and zero balance will always have zero value. Okay. That is the reason we say zero is splitting, zero balance is splitting. So in a document, it will come to balance at the PC level and it will always have the zero balance. Debit credit will always have the zero balance. In this account, you will not have any balance. Okay, so debit 1000, credit 1000, plus minus zero. So that's the reason business will sometimes ask, I want it as open item management because they want to do clearing. Don't create as open item management. Otherwise, ledger specific splitting you cannot do. If you want to post one journal entry for something only ledger specific, it will not work. So never ever create as a open item management. Okay. Is this clear? Is it clear up to here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, if you have any question, please ask me.
I have a question regarding that FAGL3KEH. Can you please go to the SAP script?
Okay. Salasan FAGL3KEH. Yeah.
So here we are defaulting the profit center at the company code level.
Huh.
And in the earlier version, it was at the controlling area level. So thinking from the design perspective, don't you think that it should be given both and we need to take an option? Because currently, if you take US 80, US 81 and IN 80, these are all company codes under our controlling area. And all these controlling area using the same operative chart of account.
Huh.
Now let's say that I'm having an account, one account G1 in all the, I'm having a profit P1 that spans across all these three company codes. Now when I declare a GL account G1, definitely the, and I'm saying that profit center is P1. Again, I need to go for the second company code. I need to go for the third company code, right? So don't you think that SAP should have given both the options? Whether before I ask this question, whether in S4 HANA, whether in future stage, whether 3 KEH is going to be obsoleted?
It is already obsolete. That is classic component. So it is still right now it is obsolete.
Oh, it's obsolete. Okay.
Already it is obsolete.
So now we have only at the company code level. Let's say that in my controlling area, if there are 100 company codes I'm having, and that I have a profit center P1 that spans across all this company code, then do you expect me as a business user or a functional consultant to go ahead and configure it 100 company codes here?
Okay, so it has two perspectives. First perspective is that There may be chance that although GL is same, but different company could want to default different profit center. That's the reason also you have to go for the company code wise. That is one reason. Another reason, there may be some company code who do not want to default the profit center. They want to enter manually. Okay, let's say here, I have one outgoing bank GL. I want to do splitting here. Right now, if I'm not entering the profit center, it is splitting. But if I default the profit center, this splitting will not work. So let's say some company could want the splitting, some company do not want to split. Some company, let's say, want to default different profit center. Some company want to default different profit center. That time also you have to use the company code label. That is the one thing. Another thing, that 3KH, that is the PCA component. It is no more we use in S4HANA 3KH. It was used in the classic time. Yeah. Okay, so do you have time, Babes, to configure, or shall we start tomorrow? So concept
Tomorrow,
is clear,
sir.
right? This concept is
Yeah.
clear, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got it now. When splitting will
Yeah.
happen, what is called active, what is called passive. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, how will it split? Let's say if I ask you, why system is splitting this particular line item? Or why system is splitting this particular line item?
Because in these two line items not having profit center.
Okay, that is correct. But there is something called, that's the reason we're telling configuration. There you have to define. So the line item which is getting splitted, that is known as an item to be splitted. And based on whichever line item profit center is split, that is known as base line item. So this is known as a base line item. This is known as an item to be splitted. So SAP has already designed this. All the business scenario, all the business process, they have already understood that, okay, if you post the invoice, what are the GL may use while posting the invoice? Do you think that while posting the invoice you will bring the cash GL? Never. Will you bring while posting the vendor invoice? Will you enter the cash GL?
No, sir. No.
Never, right? So if you bring the cash GL during the invoice posting, it is known as a not compliant with the business process. So document splitting, it will not work. So SAP says that document splitting will work only for the unique business process. When you're mixing 2-3 business process into one, it will not work. Okay, so you have to follow the right business process. Then SAP has already studied it right for every business process. For every business process backend, it is already configured that what to be splitted based on what. If you want to split something based on something different, then you can modify your own, but generally we don't modify. That I'm going to discuss tomorrow. Okay. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you then everyone. Thank you. Yeah, Ravi, you have anything to add?
No. Thank you, Hari.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, bye-bye.